It is K.Ho, and I am here at 655 Noe Street. This is a fixer in between 19th Street and 20th Street here at the edge of Noe Valley slash Eureka Valley slash Dolores Heights slash Mission Dolores. Anyway, central location. So the offer date is set for Wednesday, July 2nd, I think that's right. So it'll probably be in contract by the time this gets posted, but it's still useful to take a look at the home from a interesting perspective in terms of what you could do with it. What are the things that need to be done? They're pretty obvious. And what are other considerations you might have when you're considering a fixer? Let's go in. Patrick here from Craig's company at Poof Real Estate is going to say hi to us. So, hey Patrick, tell us about it a little bit. Big property, been here for what, the 1950s?
1900s. 2 homes on one lot.
Wow, that's really fantastic. So it's all vacant right now, and you're doing offers tomorrow. 26 disclosure packages out. So that's just a little bit of interest, right? Just a skosh.
Nothing crazy.
Cool. I'm gonna go walk it if that's cool. So you've seen different listings here before, of course. There are other properties where here they've done a whole fill-in where there are 3 units there. There's a house that's still off the street here. There's this house, of course, and there's this big guy over here. And then I think this sold for like 5 and change, 5.2, yeah, 5.25 not too long ago. And then there's this guy. Yeah, they've got a lot of potential here.
That one across the street sold for 1.87.
Yeah. It's funny. I know the neighbors right next door who are moving to Greece. They're French, moving to Greece, and I saw their backyard. Looked over. I was like, yeah, that's a lot of stuff that's going on there, you know. So anyway, let me go inside. So Patrick has said, and he has correctly pointed out that you are in a great neighborhood. There's a lot to do, and you know there is a lot to see. Take a look at that. The views here, and this is a non-power line street as well. You have 20th right there, and then you've got 19th down there with the little market, and you see this. It's a really cool view, especially at night. You can see the clouds, and you can see, or the fog, and you can see the light reflecting. Pretty neat. Now, this is the first structure we get to. Yeah, we've come up all this way. There is a detached garage underneath, and this space, this volume, could be filled with something. Now, under here, just look at the existing structure. You've got some good things going on. It does look like concrete up here and concrete back there. And before they were saying there was a long-term tenant who did negotiate a buyout with the current owners. And then there was also another gentleman who passed away, I think maybe a year and a bit ago is what he said. So the property is completely vacant. Here you can see the old growth wood here. You got your HVAC, of course. You probably end up replacing it. Here you also see the bottom of the chimney that we'll see inside. And you've just got a lot of the old growth wood. You can see structures were bolstered at one point because you have newer lumber here, newer wood here too. But it's due for an upgrade. You can see the existing sort of old school. It's no longer connected, thank goodness. Knob and tube. There is the porcelain holders for that as well. Telephone wires, and let's keep going upwards. Okay, we haven't even made it inside yet. So now we're up at the top part of this area. Now remember, this is a historic district. We're in the Mission Dolores Heights district and Eureka Valley. So you've got stuff to consider. You've got the classic facade up here with your 2 windows on that side, 2 windows there. Nice entry here, and wow, look at that. There is the top of that chimney. And here is the view. Look at that. Can't complain. I love the row of descending queen and Victorian style homes there. You've got a little transom up here. You get a lot of great light. Afternoon light here must be incredible. You've also got a really nice sense of space for the existing structure. That's going to be important because if you are historic and you do have to maintain certain elements, it's good to have some volume behind it. Even though you're going to remodel it, it's going to be an interesting one. So 10 foot 10 in here right now. Let's see the width. I think Let me go in here. Here's your bathroom. So you'll see that I measure a lot in these properties because that's what you need to know. 23 feet 11 from interior wall to interior wall. So probably about 25 or wider. I think there might be a little setback on either side, I'm not sure. But it's one of the interesting things is to see what spaces you have existing, because if you try to expand outside of that space, that's when you get into neighbor notification, neighbor opposition, historic concerns, all of those types of things that makes development challenging. Now, yesterday, Newsom did enact a CEQA reform. I'm not exactly sure what the contours are of that, and we'll see how it impacts it, but it's supposed to streamline things. Now, that is a vibrant kitchen. I like the skylight above. You can see the pitch of the roof here. The gable is up there, so it's a pitched roof. I would suspect that ends here because then you've got the taller structure here. So you've got an attic. I think there was a pitched roof. I think I saw it above the front facade. And yes, by the way, totally incidental, and this is the umpteenth time that I've seen this particular island at a listing, whether it be old or new. It's a common one. I bet you it's IKEA. I don't know, I'll have to look. Now let's go back here. He did say 2 structures, 1 property, and there is the second structure. Ooh, these are little steep stairs here. So you've definitely got this. So, yep, here. Now you can see the roof lines, the double roof here. That was the kitchen. That's the taller part there. Look, you've got a little access throughout there. And yes, there was a sidewalk all the way going down here. So I believe it's a slightly wider parcel. And yes, pitched roof above, and that chimney ends up here. So, well, you have to figure out what you're gonna do. Now, we've seen properties, I think I've seen that property and the one behind us. This is 655 and a half, which is great. Yeah, you could say that this one needs a bit of work, but actually the stairs are pretty solid. Here you've got dried out, even though it's pressure treated. When you get this much sun and weathering, it's kind of crazy. So, caution tape, obviously. And then here, wow, look at that. So, well, there you go. Wish you could smell it here. So what do we see here? Mold, obviously, low ceiling, obviously, old floors. Now the funny thing, would these floors be saved? Possibly. Got 6'11", and then there's a bathroom there. I don't think I want to venture back there, but let's see how wide this is. Oh, this is a crazy one. 23'3". I'm gonna leave here now. This one wouldn't be lendable. Condition-wise, appraisers would classify this, you know, as a C, I think 5 or 6 or whatnot too. It's effectively, you're buying the land. Here, you're also buying the existing 3D structures. So this could easily be turned into something amazing. There was an ADU or second unit over on Worth Street that our colleagues had. I think it was 45 Worth. They did really well on it. And they took what was here before, this is definitely the before, and turn it into something kind of amazing. Here, what you can do, even though the ceiling height is low up there, really, it should be from here. So do all this, you do something really beautiful. This turns into a wonderful courtyard. This, well, it really depends how far back and what you can see from the street and what the city will allow you to do. The great thing is you do have this and that as pre-existing precedent, so you could probably do some bulk addition here. Again, something you definitely have to work with an architect and who is familiar with how these things work, and somebody who is expert in navigating the city's bureaucracy and also potential neighbor or historic issues too. And let's look under here just to see. Okay, there's a nest here, and yeah, you got a foundation space here. You got some header space here. So assuming you could drop down, let's see, about 5 more feet. So it's easy to see how you could do that. Oh, actually, let's measure 18 feet deep. So you've got 18 by 20 something, and you've got, let's see, 5 plus the 7, so 12 feet. Yeah, you could do something really cool here. Do that, make it taller, and you have a whole nice little space back there. Not so little, actually, and pretty dramatic. You can do a lot in tiny spaces. So yeah, let's do one more look at the front so you can see how the other room, because I remember I didn't go to the front bedroom. So back here, pitched roof, lower pitched roof, with another pitched roof here, so 2 little ones, and this big one. Look at that view. I mean, you can open it all up, whatnot. You're gonna do a lot of work, so. And over here, you can see the view of the other bedroom, at least what's configured as a bedroom. So, yeah, 655 Noe Street. They're gonna do offers, probably by the time you've seen this, it's offer day, but I just wanted to show you what these houses can look like. The before, this is definitely the before. I can't wait to see what the after is, and the lucky owners and the lucky people who get it. You know, there's lots of interest, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But when it's done, you can imagine what it'll look like. Can't wait to see it. So thanks to Patrick and Craig, and this is of course K.Ho walking you through. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take it easy. Be sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one. Take care, everybody.